Jai Hare Krishna.
Dhanyavad, Didi.
And Prabhu, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm happy to see you on your special place. That's the Brahmachari's place.
Well, it's Gurudev's veranda here in Australia. This is
So nice, so nice.
How are you?
I'm happy to have you. Happy to know how the devotees in wonderful and how they have been so close in the departure of our dear devotee. I thought I was going to get disconnected. Did you hear? Did you hear me?
Say it again, sorry?
Did you hear me? Oh yes, Vrindavaneshwari says yes. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Dhanavad. I just got a message that my connection was unstable. So beautiful to know. So beautiful to know that the devotees were so close and were so loving and showing affection, showing so much affection. That's so important.
Definitely.
Okay. Already joining.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Shri Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Govinda Govinda.
Good morning, obeisances, Maharaj.
Good morning, obeisances, and also good evening and late night obeisances to Vrindavaneshwari Devirasi and Vrindavaneshwari, she's the latest, I think. And yourself, Praneshwari Didi, also very late. Jivana, not so late. Jai Goranga, daytime. Udaran Prabhu, early. Prema Sindhu Prabhu, early. And maybe Mathura Basini there also early. And Chinmoy Dev Prabhu, happily seeing you. And also a little late for you there too. All right, for each of you, my humble obeisances to each other, and let us begin our Zoom program. We have a little bit of a different program today, but some important things, and we can share some reading. This is a thought about today. So Jai Srila Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj ki Jai, Jai Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Sri Maharaj ki Jai, Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai, and Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. And of course, Srila Gaur Kishoras Babaji Maharaj ki Jai, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki Jai, all of the Sri Rupa Nuga Sampradaya ki Jai, and all the present day Vaishnavas and leaders ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari. And we've gathered together, let us give obeisances. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. And Om Jnana Timarandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvije Namaha. Hare Krishna, and welcome to Ganga Leela Devidasi, who just joined us too. So welcome. So today, I just need to type the address http://sc.com/excerpt So today I have put on the web an excerpt, and this is in fact our homework from 2 times ago. So be this time last week when Braja Mohini was with us, and she pointed out the great relevance of this part. Okay, so here I have confirmed and working. I'm putting in the chat box link, and what we'll do today is just to make sure that we're all doing our homework. We're going to read it. We're going to take it in turns to read maybe 2 paragraphs each. It's not very long, but it's not very short. So let's see how we get on. But we do want to read with understanding. We do want to hear with understanding. These are the words of Srila Gurudev, and they're recorded there in the very beautiful book, Revealed Truth, and so relevant to us at every stage of our devotional life, always, forever. And the theme that is emphasized by Srila Gurudev, by Srila Guru Maharaj, by Srila Prabhupada, by Mahaprabhu himself. So some sections in here you have heard before, because actually we read 2 excerpts from this section over the last couple of weeks, whether exactly here, maybe, but here certainly 1 section on back to basics. So some will be familiar recently, but it's from reading a short section that Braja Mohini, she suggested reading from further back from the subheading in the Revealed Truth, which the subheading is Non-enviousness. So my request is, those who are happy to read, please to share the reading. I'll start us off with 2 paragraphs, and then I'm just going to look on my screen and see who's next beside me. Okay, sitting beside me on my Zoom screen is Jai Gauranga Prabhu. So he can then read 2 paragraphs. And Brindavaneshri, are you comfortable to read English with meaning? Are you comfortable to read?
Yes, I'm trying to open this link. I think it's okay.
All right, very good. So we'll start with myself, Jai Gauranga Prabhu, Brindavaneshri, then Jivana, then Udharan, the order, and then the order that's on my screen here, and we can give a little nudge. So we want to read just a little bit. I'll read 2 paragraphs, and then that sort of same amount means it'll be a couple of minutes each. And we want to read with understanding, hear with understanding. It's not a reading exercise, it's an exercise of allowing Gurudev's good wishes and direction to come into our heart. All right, so Jai Srila Gurudev Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. And the book from which this is taken, Revealed Truth by Srila Gurudev Ki Jai. All right, Gurudev speaking. The main obstacle on our spiritual path is enviousness. Envy is very bad. I always see this, feel this, and am disturbed by it also. What shall I do? In the 2nd verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a short expression that is very important, sweet, and suitable for conditioned souls. Nirmatsaranang satam. This expression gives light to everyone, to be pure and free from enviousness, appreciate others. This advice does not mean we should become pure like alloyed steel, but that we should become pure like gold. If we can make ourselves into generous, non-envious persons, then we will become pure like gold. In this material world, everything is moving up and down. Everything is always shifting its position. Someone is becoming rich, someone is becoming poor, someone is becoming wise, someone is becoming foolish. Everything, everywhere continues to move up and down in this world. But we must try to isolate ourselves from that and avoid being envious of anyone. We may not be able to understand how it will be possible, but we still must try. There is no other way to proceed in our spiritual life. All right, Jai Gauranga Prabhu, please open your microphone. And if you're happy to do so, please read a similar amount, a short excerpt.
Yes, Maharaj. We will be able to harmonize everything when we truly take shelter at Krishna's lotus feet. Krishna is reality the beautiful, and with his connection, we have the chance to feel the full form of his qualities and beauty. When we have the opportunity to get everything through our connection with the Lord, then we do not need to be envious of anyone else. Srila Guru Maharaj trained me from my childhood. Serve the Vaishnavas without enviousness. If we see a devotee doing our job better than we are, then we must consider that he is doing good for us. We should not be envious of him. When a devotee is doing so much that I cannot do, I praise him for that. I do not criticize him.
And one more paragraph.
We know that whenever anyone does something, there must be something right and something wrong in their action. No one has full knowledge or is completely wise. Srila Guru Maharaj used the phrase, "to err is human," in one of his articles. All the Vaishnavas want to be right. They want to do things right, and they try heart and soul. We should always consider their service efforts and overlook their faults. This is necessary for our society.
Jai. And Vrindavaneshri Didi, with understanding, please try to read for us. And if anybody has a question, and especially the reader, if you have a question and don't understand something, please do ask as we go through.
Can I?
Yes, please.
If according to our knowledge, it seems to us that someone is not serving perfectly, then we should not be angry with him, and we should not be envious of him. Rather, we should look at our own self. If we feel the desire to criticize others, then we should first try to criticize our own self and find our own faults. My Sanskrit.
Atmaiva hyatmano bandhur atmaiva ripur atmanaha. Yes.
Srimad Bhagavad Gita 6.5 explains that I can be my own worst enemy and I can be my own best friend. When I criticize others, then I act as my own worst enemy. When I criticize myself, then I act as my own best friend. If we can continue our practicing life in that way, then we will get a good result. We may be bad, but why should I not be good? I see some bad quality in him, but I cannot correct him. So why should I not try to be good and correct myself? I shall be good. Whether he is good or bad is another thing. First of all, I shall be good, knowing that I will be benefited if I proceed in that way. We should look after ourselves in this way. That is very good for the continuation of our practicing lives.
Okay,
Lives.
Practicing lives, yes.
Lives.
English spelling is very tricky. I'm sorry. Well, I empathize with all those who have to have English as their second or third or fourth language. Tricky spelling. No, well read, and all these are very important points. Jeevanadi, please continue. Jeevana, anybody home? There's a button there somewhere you need to click.
Yeah. See the positive. We must try to proceed in this way. Otherwise, we have no hope. There are so many practitioners around us who are not perfect. Everyone has some imperfections. If we act like a drain inspector, always looking for the faults of others, then we will be offenders and we will not properly honor the devotees. Who is a perfect devotee? It is very difficult to find a devotee who is fully dedicated to the Lord's service. Still, we can think that every devotee has some devotion. Once one of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's disciples, Sripad Siddhanti Maharaj, came to speak with Srila Guru Maharaj. When they were speaking in a relaxed mood, Sripad Siddhanti Maharaj said to Srila Guru Maharaj, Maharaj, I consider that all of our godbrothers are Vaishnavas. Because they were all servitors of Srila Saraswati Thakur, they have some Vaishnava quality. But side by side, I have seen that all of our godbrothers have difficulties, faults, and bad qualities. I have decided to put our godbrothers into some categories. Someone is a foolish Vaishnava. Someone is a wise Vaishnava. Someone is an envious Vaishnava. Someone is a simple Vaishnava, and so on. Sripad Siddhanti Maharaj explained many different categories of Vaishnavas, and Srila Guru Maharaj laughed so much to hear that.
Right, very good. Very good. And now Udaran Prabhu, please continue. Similar sort of length.
Everyone is a Vaishnava. This is correct. But how much? It is very good to use the idea of percentage. Someone may be 5% Vaishnava. Someone may be 10% Vaishnava. Someone may be 20% Vaishnava. And someone who is 100% dedicated to the Lord is a real Vaishnava. If we consider all of the devotees in this way, that will be perfect. We should not hate others. Everyone has some quality, and with that quality, they are enjoying. I also have some quality, and I live in my own zone with that. Internally, I may know something about someone's behavior, but externally, I will see the Vaishnava's qualities and proceed carefully. Otherwise, I will be the loser and I may become an offender. It is true that some persons may do wrong, and it is also true that it is not good to follow someone who is doing wrong. Still, when I see someone doing something wrong in front of me, I should not hold any grudge against him or be envious of him. I can ignore that wrong while I try to make myself a perfect servitor. This is the only way to live harmoniously in society. I have considered this many times, and in this way we must be careful about Vaishnavas and non-Vaishnavas. Otherwise, we will be cheated and may become an offender.
Yes, very important. Every paragraph, everything here is very important and very practical for us. Chinmoy Prabhu, kindly, and Rajasundari on my screen. You are next, Chinmoy, then Rajasundari, then Priyananda Devidasi, who's joined us, is on my screen. And then let's see how far we get through. But we're continuing this reading. For those of you who have joined us, we're reading our homework from 2 times ago, just to make sure that we've all done our homework. And not only that, for those who have, like Seva Rupadidi, then we all, and Priyanana also put up a hand last time. Yes, we did our homework. But for those who have done the homework, then it is also very good to repeat this, to let this message come into our heart. So we're taking this opportunity to read with understanding and hear with understanding. So Chinmoy Prabhu, kindly to continue.
Yes, Maharaj. The formula for harmony. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us the supreme formula to collect the good qualities of others, properly relate to everyone, and harmonize everything. Shanardapi Sunichna Taro Iva Sunishna Amanilena Manadena Kirtanaya Sadahari. Within his formula, Mahaprabhu gave us 3 very nice rules. Trinardapi Sunichna. Be humble and do not disturb anyone. If we are humble, then we will not be a cause of anger for others, and everyone will be merciful to us. Taro Iva Sahishna. Tolerate everything going on in this mundane world. We are insignificant souls. We should not demand so much for ourselves. If we are tolerant, then we will not make any unnecessary disturbances for ourselves or others. In that way, we will avoid the simple reactionary environment. Amanina manadena. Give honor to everyone without desiring honor for yourself. Everyone has some ego, and we do not want to disturb others' egos. We should humbly give honor to everyone, even to persons who are not honorable. Everyone has some good qualities, so why should you not give honor to them? What is the difficulty for us? If we give honor to everyone, then everyone will be happy with us. And not only will they not disturb us, but they will help us in our practicing life.
Jai. And this is the formula for harmony. Wonderful. All right. So next, Braja Sundari Revirasi, kindly.
The conditioned souls always think that they are already qualified. That is their misfortune. When someone sees himself as the biggest, he cannot see anything beyond himself. He can only see tiny things like ants and insects. When someone sees himself clearly and feels himself to be small, then he can see the highest and biggest things around him. It is helpful for us to see ourselves not as the best or greatest, but as the least and smallest, to see that we have a great need for improvement. Whatever good qualities we may have are already our property, which no one can take away from us. If we see good qualities anywhere in others, we should try to collect them. We can always collect goodness from wherever we find wherever we find it through our practice of humility, tolerance, and giving honor to others.
Yes, Srila Gurudev will be very happy to hear you say these things and read these things. Very good.
Maharaj, but I have a question. Yes, so
Our
this
first
sentence.
question of the day, and the question is,
if we see good qualities anywhere in others, we should try to collect them. What does it mean, try to collect good qualities from others? It will be like imitation, I think, if we don't have these qualities. So what does it mean?
it will be like what if we don't have these qualities?
If we don't have these qualities, then we will be trying to imitate them.
And no, it doesn't have to be imitation. Rather, Srila Gurudev is or will express or has expressed, whether exactly here, that when we will glorify and appreciate the good qualities in others, then those good qualities will rub off on us also. It is not imitation. We will get benefited by that. And it's actually Guru Maharaj who used the expression. But if we see the bad qualities in others and point those out, then we will be contaminated by those same bad qualities. And Guru Maharaj used the expression, if we chew the bad qualities of others, then those will come to us. So it's not that we're imitating, rather by chewing, if you like, giving glorification of the good qualities of others, those good qualities will also they will rub off onto us like that. So not imitation.
Thank you. Thank you. So
But
shall I read further?
Well, we came to a breaker. So let's now the next devotee read.
Okay.
Excuse me, Maharaj.
Next devotee is Priyanana. On my screen, I'm just going through the order that's on my screen. So whatever Zoom has put in front of me.
I think Jai Gauranga Prabhu has a question for a long time already. Don't know what's...
Oh, okay. You have some mystic potency to be able to feel the mood
I see his hand.
far away in Australia. Yes, Jai Gauranga Prabhu. Is this correct?
Yes, Maharaj. I was just wanting to ask you, please, about Maharaj Gurudev is saying here. 1 second. He's saying someone may be 5% Vaishnav, someone may be 10% Vaishnav, someone may be 20%, etc., etc. If we consider all the and someone who is 100% dedicated to the Lord is a real Vaishnava. If we consider all the devotees in this way, that would be perfect. Is Gurudev referring to? He's referring to the last part, right?
So let me just catch it straight away. So if everyone is a Vaishnava, this is correct, but how much? It is very good to use the idea of percentage. Someone may be 5% Vaishnava, someone may be 10% Vaishnava, someone may be 20% Vaishnava, and someone who is 100% dedicated to the Lord is a real Vaishnava. If we consider all of the devotees in this way, that will be perfect. In other words, they are all Vaishnavas. They're all devotees of some percentage. And we are living in a world which is not the pure world. We are all some percentage healthy and some percentage unhealthy in this world. If we were 100% healthy, we would not be here, except in exceptional cases when the Lord has sent his own agents to come. So what Gurudev is saying, that if we consider all of the devotees as devotees, but we can give some respect, okay, someone is 5%, 10%, 80%, we know that it is percentage. And so the other part of the Vaishnava, well, we'll overlook that quality. And this is the theme of Gurudev. This is part of his explanation of this theme, where we will overlook the percentage which is not Vaishnava and appreciate the Vaishnava percentage.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you.
All right. So now we have the subheading, smooth progress. So now Priyanana Devi Rasi. Priyanana Devi Rasi can kindly read for us.
Okay, just a moment. So smooth progress. Mahaprabhu's formula states that anyone who is humble and tolerant and gives honor to others without expecting honor for himself can properly practice Harinam Sankirtan. This teaching of Mahaprabhu gives us the proper spirit of spiritual life. When we follow the practice of humility, tolerance, and giving honor to others, we will not do anything wrong to anyone, and we will not make offenses to anyone. If we give honor to everyone, then we will never be in danger of making an offense to a Vaishnava aparad. It is completely necessary to avoid making offenses to Vaishnavas because the Hare Krishna Mahamantra descends to us from the upper level through the Vaishnavas.
Yes, that was a short paragraph. You can read one more paragraph.
Okay. Mahaprabhu gave us his formula because we cannot recognize Vaishnavas. What can we do when we cannot recognize a Vaishnava? We can give honor to everyone, even to a person who do not appear honorable to us. If we do so, then we will always give honor to the Vaishnava, even though we may not recognize him. Generally, we can understand that we should honor a Vaishnava. There is no question about that. But because it is difficult to recognize a Vaishnava, we should give honor to everyone, even to someone who appears to have nothing. The Lord resides in the heart of everyone, and everyone is a Vaishnava by nature. We must honor everyone. Then we will always proceed clearly in our spiritual life. This is very important. And Maharaj,
what do those last 4 words mean?
this is very important. It means that Gurudev emphasizes this, what was said. Like everyone is Vaishnava by nature, and I remember maybe Srila Gurudev, or like to continue the thought that sooner or later everyone will become a Vaishnava. And as you said, like we are giving our obeisances to Vaishnava who have 2 legs, 4 legs, and like Vaishnavas of the present, past, and future. So actually, if you have a particle of such generous view, then we really should appreciate everyone, because like sooner or later they will become enough Vaishnavas. But it could be a funny question, like how to be with envious Vaishnavas. Because it starts with Nirmat Saranam, then. Okay. Yeah. How can it be that Vaishnava is envious?
And what is your answer going to be?
Well, I had some thought like, if you cross that line and like you kind of become a Vaishnava, then it all goes under the brand of pastimes and so on. Like it can be envious, or you can be whatever, or like the Lord can leave you some, I don't know, how do you say, features of character, so you don't get very proud of yourself. But yeah, the percentage of Vaishnavata and so on. But I would rather hear some explanation from you for this funny.
Well, for the Mahabhagavat, everything is favorable. But why has Mahaprabhu spoken through Rupa Goswami the instructions of Upadeshamritam? That for us, those of us who happen to be not Mahabhagavats, then there are unfavorable things and favorable things. And we must avoid the unfavorable and we must try to accept the favorable. So we can say, yes, for the Mahabhagavat, they can associate everywhere and they will not be contaminated by any other aspect of a Vaishnava. They'll only see the Vaishnava part. But we must also be very careful. And so in 2 places, then Rupa Goswami and Upadeshamritam, in those things to be avoided is to avoid the association. It's not that we're going to have the association of the non-Vaishnavas or the envious or those who are like got qualities which we really don't want to associate with. So we must try to resolve, we must try to avoid bad association, the material things. And then in the things which are favorable, the 5th is to resolve to abandon all non-Vaishnava, all kind of bad association. So we must understand our position, and we are all lagu. We can easily be influenced. If everyone in the room is smoking marijuana, then what's going to happen? You're going to be also caught into it. And so, we know these things happen. So what are we going to do? We want to be selective in our association. We must be careful who we associate with. We must try to keep our association clean, our mind clean, and everything else. So again, Mahabhagavat can associate everywhere, but we will be careful. But remember that these teachings, they're about us, how we will see other devotees. And it doesn't mean that we're going to go and closely associate with other persons. There are drunkard Vaishnavas in the time of Mahaprabhu. Nityananda, was it Nityananda? I believe it was Srivas Thakur stopped Mahaprabhu from entering the house where they were all drinking and chanting. He stopped Mahaprabhu and said, it's not going to look good. The common people, they will think, oh, this is all right. And so we are the common people. We mustn't think it is all right that we will participate in these things. So, but Mahaprabhu wasn't angry or envious. We get this word coming up quite a lot in this article about those drunkard people. Rather, he was a little disappointed he couldn't go in and be with them. And happily enough, they then followed him down the street, chanting and dancing, and Mahaprabhu was very happy. I mean, but this is for Mahaprabhu, it's not for us. And so we shall let the drunk Vaishnavas be drunk Vaishnavas, the stoned Vaishnavas be stoned Vaishnavas. We let the criticizing Vaishnavas, the envious Vaishnavas be whatever they're going to be. It's not for us to change them. And it's not for us to go into that close association. So it's how we view others, and not only externally, but internally, not to have bad feeling. But that doesn't mean we'll have that close association. Something like this. All right, Seva Rupa Devirasi, you are next on my screen. So please read with understanding and transmit that understanding to us all, wherever we are. Oh yes, so what were the last 4 words, Seva Rupa Devirasi?
The last 4 words is, this is very important.
Okay, and what is this?
What is this? Is we have to honor everyone, and then we will always proceed clearly in our spiritual life.
This is very important. Excellent. All right, please continue the reading, the next 2 paragraphs.
I will always say that this procedure given by Mahaprabhu is the best procedure for practicing spiritual life. Why? Because we are always doing something wrong, and we must avoid that. All souls have a very high prospect and property. They are all actually eternal servants of the Lord. Someone may be a tiny, insignificant soul who has not realized his own wealth, but we must give honor to everyone, no matter who they are. That way, everyone will be merciful to us. If we do not make any enemies and rather make everyone our friend, then our practicing life will proceed smoothly. We must proceed to our destiny, and for that we need the blessings of everyone, especially all the Vaishnavas in our practicing life. We need everyone's help and goodwill, and if we proceed to our destiny according to Mahaprabhu's formula, then everything will be very beautiful, fair, and good. We should be merciful to ourselves by giving honor to others. Then the whole world will become our friend, and all the Lord's servants will be merciful to us.
Hare Krishna. Wonderful things. Every paragraph is a great treasure. Not the subject matter you hear in schools and this, that, and the other. Wonderful things. All right, Devapriya Devirasi, are you available to read for us?
Sorry, Maharaj, I'm on the phone and no, I'm not available to read, but I'm happily listening. Thank you.
Okay, all right, no problem. I am also happily listening. And then next on my screen here is Suresh Krishna Prabhu. He's joined us. Suresh Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat. Do you have this text in front of you, Suresh? And are you available?
Dandavat Maharaj, Dandavat devotees. No, I'm not available because I don't have a text. I will be preparing. Okay. I'm just hearing. Yes.
No problem. What I'll do is I'll put the link again, because I think in Zoom, if there is something in the chat box before we join, we don't see it. This is the link I put again in the chat box for what we're reading from. So, who has not read, who has the link and would like to read? Krishnendrani Devirasi in Turkey, would you like to read to us?
Dandavat Maharaj.
Dandavat.
I can read if you tell me to.
Yes, it's from the subtitle, Our Hope and Challenge, in that excerpt that we've linked on the web here.
Yes. Even when we understand the idea and mood given by Mahaprabhu in his formula, Tinadapi Sunichena, it is still very difficult for us to follow. I have spoken about Mahaprabhu's formula my whole life, and so many people have heard about it. Sorry, just from me. It is very easy to hear about it. It is very easy and very good to speak about it with others also, no doubt. The difficulty is focusing on it in our own lives and following it properly. What Mahaprabhu has given as the aim and objective of Vaishnavism is actually very difficult to follow. Some persons have spent a long life in Krishna consciousness, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, but not become enriched with the three qualities of humility, tolerance, and giving honor to others. There is an expression in Bengal. Please, Maharaj.
Vaishnava Habbabali Chillamora Sada Chinada Pishloke Pari Gela Vada.
I had a strong desire to become a Vaishnava, but when I heard that I needed to follow Mahaprabhu's prescription of Tinadapi Sunichena, then I felt very hopeless. How will I ever become a Vaishnava?
And by the way, I can hear Gurudev's voice as he's telling this, because remember, Gurudev, by Srila Prabhupada's words, that is described as a transcendental humorist, and Gurudev giving this expression, and no doubt grinning from ear to ear, saying, I had a strong desire to become a Vaishnava, but when I heard that I needed to follow Mahaprabhu's prescription of Chinadapi, Sunichena, etc., then I felt very hopeless. How will I ever become a Vaishnava? I mean, Gurudev very happily saying this. So one more paragraph, please.
Everyone struggles to remember Mahaprabhu's formula and practice it properly. Sometimes we easily forget it and do something wrong. But when we come back to our good sense, we can immediately begin practicing it again. Every time we can start again anew, and there is no problem with that. We forget, our sense comes back to us, and then we can again do good with our life. In that way, we must try to go on and make ourselves perfect.
Right. And here's Gurudev being so practical. He knows that we are all faulty. He knows that we all slip, we all fail. Anger comes, this comes, that comes. These things he knows. And Gurudev lived in the ashram since he was 17 years old. He knows what it's like to live with others and things that flare up and so many, realities of life, we can say, not the dream world life, but the reality life. So anyhow, here's Gurudev being very practical. When we find we didn't do the right thing, then we must again come to our senses, slap ourselves. Okay, this time I'm going to, from now on, I'm going to behave properly. And then try again. So it's a lifetime of practice, Gurudev. We're practicing, trying to get it right. But what a super section of Gurudev, just very clearly emphasizing what he emphasized every day, this matter of our dealings with other devotees and with the environment through Mahaprabhu's formula. All right. So who has not read? Chintamani and Jayadev, are you available to read? Or Dana, would you like to read, Dana, for us? Do you have the
Sure.
text there?
Yeah.
Okay, super. So please, as we've been doing, just to continue the short reading, faith is our first necessity from there.
Faith is our first necessity in this practice, and under the guidance of faith, we can proceed properly in the line of Krishna consciousness. So many disturbances may come to us, but we can come over them by faithfully trying to practice Mahaprabhu's simple formula: humility, tolerance, and giving honor to others. We are not always successful, but we are trying to do that. We should not be disappointed or frustrated. We must see that whatever situation comes to us has been given to us by Krishna, and we will try to harmonize that situation through our practice of humility, tolerance, and giving honor to others. If we are not able to harmonize something and practice properly, then we can faithfully pray to our Master. You see everything, and you properly look after everyone. Please do whatever is best for me. This type of faith in the Lord's protection over us is necessary to have behind our practice of Mahaprabhu's formula.
Yes, very good. And now we have this subtitle, The Quality of Our Existence. Any volunteer?
Maharaj,
Praneshwari.
Maharaj.
Didn't read.
No, Maharaj. I opened my microphone because I invited Jaidev, but his internet is not working. Let's see if he can fix it. And okay, now he's saying he can try. But I opened the microphone because Narayani Nadia is here with us.
Is she? Are
Yes.
you sure?
Yes.
She's on the next page. Okay, Narayani Nadia, in the redwood jungles of California. Good to see you, Narayani Devi. And I see Narottam Nitai Prabhu, Nahush, I believe, is also with us. So kindly excuse, you were both on my next page on my Zoom screen, so we missed seeing you, but welcome to you both also. All right, I believe Jayadev Prabhu is going to speak, going to read just
He's
now.
going to read next. Yes,
all right.
Jayadev goes first.
Dandavats, dear devotees. Sorry, we're in the absolute darkness, so we can't turn on our camera.
No problem. We are seeing you by hearing. All is good.
Hare Krishna.
I see you didn't shave this morning. Am I right?
I shaved my toes. Okay, let's see here.
Hare
The
Krishna.
quality, Hare Krishna, the quality of our existence. If we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra with the qualities of humility, tolerance, and giving honor to others, we will certainly get a proper result.
Jai.
Mahaprabhu has promised us this. And even Krishna will not be able to check our result, because our result will come to us through his devotee's devotee. Humility, tolerance, and the offering of respect are the essential qualities of a devotee. Everyone must maintain those qualities in their devotional lives. If anyone is successful in practicing Mahaprabhu's procedure, then they will be very, very close to liberation. And after liberation, they will see and feel how everything is transcendental and all right by the will of the Lord. How humble we are, how tolerant we are, and how much we give honors to others is the quality of our existence in the line of Krishna consciousness. This is the teaching of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Prabhupada Srila Saraswati Thakur, and my Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj.
Jai. And that's the end of the excerpt and the end of the chapter from which this is from. Hare Krishna. Well, I didn't want to ask again if anyone did their homework and only have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 hands come up. So I thought best way to do this, because I was reading excerpts, is that we actually have our homework here. So today has been our homework day. And here's Narayani, our Narayani Nadia. I need to focus, so appreciative to listen. Koti Koti Dandavat Pranams. Yes, Koti Koti. And it's Revatinath Prabhu who coined that phrase. So we know those devotees who had association with Revatinath Prabhu. Then Koti Koti. But Revatinath Prabhu, one of our many friends who've left the world, who've disappeared from the world over the last years. Hare Krishna. Well, I don't have anything to add. How can I add more to what Gurudev has just so clearly said? What I can add is that to reread this, I'll leave the excerpt on the web there, and you can download. Everybody can, it's so easy to download things these days, but just see if we can do homework of reading this one excerpt every day this week. I mean, really, it's that kind of a important section, so important section. But I know whatever we read, we feel is very important. But this is just so topical and so practical. And we're always saying affectionate guidance. And guidance for what? To the destination of sweetness, beauty, love, etc. So really, it is really a good thing for us to repeat. Hare Krishna. And we are not Mahabhagavats, so we must keep our feet on the ground and let us follow the directives given by Rupa Goswami, which we can also read every day, but I know we don't have 24 hours a day where we can read, and we need to be doing seva, 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 seva. But those first 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but the first 3 verses of Upadeshamritam, our senses to control. We're not Mahabhagavats, so we need to avoid the unfavorable. Yes, if we're a Mahabhagavat, we can see everything is favorable, but let's be realistic, we're not. So we need to avoid the unfavorable, and we need to embrace the favorable. And here we've got avoiding the unfavorable and embracing the favorable in a formula, the formula of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And let us try to make it really part of our life nature. We can change our nature. We don't have the same nature as when we were teenagers. We don't have the same nature before we learned about animal slaughter, etc. We change our nature. And we can change our nature by trying to practice the good advice who know how we should become trained. A sportsman becomes trained in their particular sport under good guidance. Even the top, whatever it is, I don't know, runner or football player or cyclist or something, they have a trainer. They've got somebody who they're going to for guidance, to be a third person, to watch them, to see what are their strengths, what needs to be, what they need to work on, their weaknesses, etc. So we also need good guidance, and we've got super guidance from the super section, which are Mahaprabhu's associates come to this world to bring this wave of Krishna consciousness everywhere. So the first 3 verses of Upadeshamritam and this section from Revealed Truth, if we can make that, add that to our daily diet, our daily spiritual diet, then it is very good for us. So you're already getting up, I know, an hour and a half before you used to get up, so you can chant your japa, chant your Gayatri, etc. Now get up another 20 minutes before that. So now get up 2 hours before you used to, and now add in the reading of this and the first 3 verses of Upadeshamritam. And then very soon you will be close to liberation. That's what Gurudev told us just now, if we can really put these things into practice. So it's not for words, it's for really life change, life changing. Yesterday we were informally talking with 2 devotees, well, 3 devotees, over the internet. I mean, here we are, but we're informally talking, and really we came to some little realization that there are 3 shlokas, 3 verses we need. Pancha Tattva Mahamantra, I think you know that. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivas Adi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. The Hare Krishna Mahamantra, I think you all know that. Okay, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And the guidance of Mahaprabhu, emphasized by all our guardians, headed by, you can say, Srila Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj. Trinad api sunichena, taror eva sahishnuna, amanina manadina, kitanya sada harihi. With these 3 verses, if we only know 3 verses, I think, and put them into our heart and practice. Okay, oh, I must mention another verse, mustn't I? Bhagavad, back, somebody tell me. Bhagavad Bhakti Taha Sarvam Ityutsrijya Vidherapi Kain Karyam Krishna Padaik Ashrayatvam Sharanagati. By surrendering, doing everything for Krishna, everything is accomplished. We don't have to worry about anything else. And there are we come across other verses too that Gurudev says, this is the best verse in my whole life. I live my life by this verse. And we've been discussing these here on Back to Basics too. But still, for today, for the theme of today, we're going to go with Panchatattva Mahamantra, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and Trinada Pisa Nichena. Let's not make life very complicated. Hare Krishna. Oh, and Radha Sundari, I see, is in the sun. Oh, someone's in the sun. Says Radha Sundari, but she's a silhouette, if she is. Yes, it's Radha Sundari. In Mayapur. Hare Krishna. Navadeep Mayapur San. And Narottam Nitai Prabhu has written here in the chat, dear Maharaj, there's basically no end to misconceptions to the understanding of Krishna consciousness in the outside world. So how do we balance the art of preaching and practicing to help propagate and also boil the milk? As I have heard in reference to how our acharyas speak about elevating our Krishna consciousness. Boil the milk. Not sure I've heard that expression. But simple answer, clear for me answer is, we need to encourage everyone to regularly read, hear, consume, be a consumer by hearing, seeing, reading, etc. the teachings of Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, and Srila Prabhupada. And we know from our early days how the stress was to distribute at that time Srila Prabhupada's books, bring the focus to Srila Prabhupada. He's doing the preaching and we are doing the introduction. And as 1 week, 2 weeks into the temple life, we are distributing Back to Godhead magazine in the street. But really, we don't have much of a clue. But we know that Srila Prabhupada has the clue and is going to give everything. So we want them to read what he has to say. So this is our practice, is to bring everyone to the consciousness of our purest masters who've brought everything to the world in that short time frame. And our sincerity to ourselves is for us to try to catch that as much as we can and follow that. And then we will also understand, what I felt, what I understood 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, we can also say, well, I thought like that, but now something else is becoming clearer. So we are on a journey, we are on an infinite journey, and we should try to keep ourselves with this magic formula, I don't know, no magic, but the special formula of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Humility, tolerance, giving honor to others. And Narottam Nitai Prabhu, I think you joined a little later in the program today. Please do download or go to that link which we've put in to the chat box earlier on. And I can put it again, and just in case you would come after it was there, because I know that in Zoom we don't always see the earlier links. But please do download this and make this your week's meditation, but our life's meditation, actually.
Maharaj, I have a question. It's Deva Priya. Can I ask you something?
Yes, we know you by voice, Deva Priya, definitely.
I know this class is called Back to Basics. And when we talk about give honor, respect to others, I feel like I'm always in my preschool and kindergarten class, because this is such a basic of life. And that's what we are teaching kids in kindergarten and preschool every day, to be kind and respectful. And yet now we're all grown-ups and we are still like in kindergarten learning these basics. So did Gurudev ever said like what's next step after these 3 basics, like kindergarten? What's after that?
The whole of the spiritual world. This is our necessity of our nature, to gain the grace of the Vaishnavas, the grace of the Lord through the Vaishnavas, to be given admittance into not just the spiritual world, but to Goloka Vrindavan, the gift of Mahaprabhu, which is Krishna Prema. And Krishna Prema, you will find many places, Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada telling us about Krishna Prema. But the foundation requirement is this humility, tolerance, giving honor to others, and not wanting honor for oneself. So we need to know, we are very fortunate that Guru Maharaj, that Srila Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada have described so much about the land of Goloka Vrindavan. What is Krishna Prema? We have some understanding that that wonderful land is there. But our life is to make ourselves fit. And this another expression, another one-liner or two-liners from Srila Govinda Maharaj that we learned maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago now, where Gurudev is saying that constant attentive chanting of the holy name of the Lord will draw the grace of the name, draw the grace from above, and it will clean our heart, remove all obstacles, and forgive our offenses, excuse our offenses. So all of this is so that Kirtanya Sada Harihi, we can always chant the names of the Lord. And then the whole conception of the chanting of the name of the Lord, the land of Goloka Vrindavan, which is the very destination, the place, the origin of the name of the Lord as distributed by Gauranga, who is Radha Krishna combined, distributing Radha Krishna, distributing themselves to this world. And I have more quotes. Did I send anybody an excerpt yesterday? I sent somebody a very short quote yesterday. Who was it? Not sure. Okay, anyway, I did have a very beautiful quote about Navadip and Vrindavan. And Navadip, along the lines of Navadip is where the greatest treasure is being distributed from by the grace of Mahaprabhu, and we can say by the grace of our masters. Hare Krishna.
Dear Maharaj, please check the chat. There's a contribution from Paramananda Prabhu.
Check the chat. Contribution from Paramananda Prabhu, 25 rupees. What? 25 rupees contribution. Sri Upadeshamritam's verses 5 and 6. Well, we all know verses 5 and 6. And so the contribution.
The contribution is that
how to honor the Vaishnavas and how not to see anything mundane in the Vaishnavas. Those are the 5 and 6.
Yes, he says that it perfectly illuminated. They are perfectly illuminated in this chapter.
Yes. He says. Okay. You are reading his message also from a distance. Praneshri's got this capacity. She can see our mind. All right, dear devotees, and I see Radha Sundari Devirasi is giving us a view from a motorbike, maybe, or a bicycle, no, a motorbike, of very green looking Mayapur.
Yes, she's driving her motorbike.
Okay, drive carefully. Drive carefully. All right, dear devotees. Yes? No? Okay, yes, dear devotees. All glories to Srila Gurudev Om Vishnupad, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. All glories to Srila Guru Maharaj Om Vishnupad, Srila Bhakti Rockok, Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. All glories to Bhagavan, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. And all glories to Sri Rupa Nuga Guru Bhaga Ki Jai. All glories to Grantharaj, King of Books, Srimad Bhagavatam and Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. And Jai Shri Rupa Goswami, Sri Upadeshamrita Ki Jai. Jai Shri Rupa, Sanatan, Bhatta Raghunath, Shri Jiva, Gopala Bhatta, Daza Raghunath, Sri Shad, 6 Goswami Ki Jai. And Jai to all of our present day Sri Chaitanya Saraswat, Acharya Brinda Ki Jai. Jai to all the assembled devotees Ki Jai. And Jai to all the unlimited Ananta Koti Vaishnava, all the unlimited millions of devotees Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bo.
Jai Shri Bhakti Ranjan Madhusuri Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Panchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. And by the way, very well read by every one of you and very well listened. I know you are all listening very attentively by every one of you. And may Gurudev's mercy come into your heart by his causeless grace that our attempt to try to follow his guidance. He didn't speak just to give some knowledge. He spoke so that we will do this. We will try to be devotees following his guidance, affectionate guidance.
I found someone.
Jai to you all. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you
Hari.
so much, Maharaj. Thank you.